362 runs, 15 wickets, one man with one deadly tumour. Right in the afterglow of the 2011 World Cup victory, Indian cricketer Yuvraj Singh was diagnosed with cancer. Mobile phones are an integral part of modern telecommunication. Literally every individual carries mobile phones and other electronic devices. All these devices emit non-ionizing electromagnetic radiation. This radiation impacts our health through a process of overheating. A US scientist developed Rad Blok, a chip developed by Maxwell EMR Research Center Private Limited, after years of thorough research by a team of professionals, that could be used as a mobile accessory to reduce the impact of cell phone radiation on human body. Rad Blok acts as a signal filter and a signal repeater with an embedded layer of aluminium foil in the chip. It neutralizes the harmful effects of cell phone radiation without disturbing cell phone functions and operations. The device prevents exposure to adverse effects of cell phone use and reduces radiation absorption by biological cells up to 99.95%. The built-in multiple layers of protection can effectively stop radiation from cell phone by reflecting and decaying it to a greater extent. Rad Blok effectively blocks EMF, EM cloud, static cloud generated by electromagnetic waves in the process of inducing power by telecommunication systems into the atmosphere. As more and more studies point towards the link between cell phone radiation, headaches, certain types of cancers, and various other health issues, consumers are searching for ways to protect themselves from this potential threat. Use of Rad Blok on cell phones to avoid brain cells getting exposed to radiation emitted by phones can be seen as the best option in the times to come. Krishangi Sinha, Democracy News Live, New Delhi.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Democracy News Live. We wanted to talk about an important issue. We know we keep, veering away from the issues that really impact us. Each one of us uses cell phones. Each one of us uses devices like computers. But nobody wants to talk about it because there is such a large industry involved in the creation of these devices. The cell phone companies in themselves don't want to talk about it. They will sponsor researchers. They will get different, people to say, oh, there is no harm. There isn't a possibility that there is no harm. There is tremendous amount of new disease that we see on a daily basis. Now, what prompted the scientists here and the company to create is a device which sticks on your phone, helps you reduce radiation around you. Now, it's a Hyderabad-based company. The inventor in himself, who's patented this device, is from a small town in Guntur originally. He now is at MIT. But we're going to talk about what it does and how it impacts us. And I think that's the issue we want to brace today. The idea is we don't know exactly what the impact of the radiation is because there is nobody willing to study it through. But we also know the reality that it isn't possible that there isn't an impact. Let me bring on Mr. Lakshminarayana, first of all, who brought the idea together. Mr. Lakshminarayana, tell me, what made you even develop a device like this?
Good evening, sir. About 8-9 years back onwards, I have been I have come across various study reports that spoke about the adverse effects of mobile radiation on humans. It could be infertility, brain tumors, cancer, so on, so forth. Even WHO at one point of time classified electromagnetic radiation as a possibly carcinogenic to humans. That means it also causes getting with this mobile radiation is there. That's what it meant. So when I have come across all these things, there was even buzz happening around Hyderabad where I happened to see so many agitators opposing installation of cell phone towers in their locality. So having seen all these things, so I thought of exploring what could be done, what best could be done to address the issue of mobile radiation. So the biggest challenge that, which I found was finding appropriate people who could guide me, who could give me light on that, who could throw this issue and all. So that's the one thing. And in this process,
So what did you
I
do?
happen to
So
meet.
what did you do? So what
Yeah,
did you
I
do when
happen to
you
meet
found
some.
out that this is an issue? Then what was your next step?
No, no. I started meeting people radiologists. I met a couple of doctors, and strangely, I got to know that without radiation, the mobile or any wireless communication device does not function. Radiation is a part of the communication device. So, without disturbing the functionality of the mobile phone or any wireless communication device, the challenge is reducing the impact of radiation on human body. So to address this, I was exploring. I went to a couple of universities. I met a couple of professors, and in that very process, I have come across uh, Mr. Ravi Sasank, who is from MIT. He is from a Guntur district, a small place in Andhra Pradesh. So he is basically into developing very much into developing new products, new innovative ideas. He has multiple things in his portfolio. So when I approached, so he came up with some idea, which actually reduces the impact of radiation without disturbing the core function of the wireless communications.
Wow, that's amazing. Shashank, let me bring you on here. Explain to me what's there in this device. What was the innovation, and how did you reach that this device will actually block the radiation? Give us a little sense of how did you go about this.
Hi, Mr. Rohit, and thanks to Mr. Lakshminarayana who has introduced me. He has brought this amazing project to me. Told me that he wants my assistance as well as my advice on creating a product which blocks cell phone radiation without affecting its actual what exactly it has designed. The thing is, in a communication systems and electronics, we usually use chip level based EMF grounders on the board. But here we can't use that kind of equipment on the cell phone. We need to design very, very new technology. So then also assisted me. He also introduced me to a physicist named Mr. Dr. Brahmoji Rao, who is also a nanotechnology expert from the past 45 years, and both are very amazing colleagues to me. Have guided me and advised me how to create this, and we have created a new product. We have created a new polymer batch by using some kind of proprietary metal compositions, and we have used nickel, silver, gold, as well as aluminum to make this chip. This chip completely prevents the
So what does this chip do again? Explain to me. I've been using it on my phone as well. So what does this do? So this is the chip, right? All you do is you take it out
yes,
of the box and you stick it on the phone. So what does
yes,
this chip? So what does the
yes,
chip do? What is a
yes.
microchip? Honestly, I don't understand what a microchip is.
Yes, there are two kind of waves which cell phone towers a high frequency wave. The high frequency wave consists of all our that means communications, but the high frequency wave can't reach this. Its range is very limited. It's limited to just a couple of 100 feet only. The thing is, this high frequency wave is induced into that low frequency wave so that it can travel up to 14 kilometers, up to 14 to 19 kilometers, depends upon the installation of the tower and manufacturer capacity. Manufacturers were there, they can support up to 21 to 25 kilometers also. So here, what happens is the low frequency wave is a highly energized wave. When it comes and when you call somebody, the tower tries to locate device through low frequency wave, and when the data will be transmitted through high frequency wave induced in the low frequency wave. So the thing is, when this is there, uh, when it is not there, when the low frequency wave hits, it generates an electrical and electromagnetical impulses will be there, which have to get grounded. An force of unstable electrons which has to be grounded. So basically, human body is made up of almost 70 to 80% of water, and we are the perfect grounding mechanism. So all that instant everything get grounded into our body itself only through our ear and head. So here what happens is, when you put the chip consists of aluminum foils, sandwich between that means there will be a polymer sandwiched with aluminum foil, and that polymer will consist of nickel, gold, copper, and silver components in a proprietary format. So when this hits, this low frequency wave acts as a grounding mechanism. So this low frequency will be directly attracted to the chip instead of our body.
Mm.
So it's
How
energy and
interesting.
all this
Honestly,
excessive
as much as
electromagnetic load.
I am enjoying listening to this, it's beginning to worry me each time you say it. What you're saying is basically anytime receiving a low intensity signal from a cell phone tower or anywhere, all the material,
Yes,
basically the frequency grounds through me. When the frequency grounds through me
yes,
to go to the ground, it basically is sending
yes,
all of those waves through me, which
yes,
means my body is going to get impacted. There is no way that my body is not going to be impacted by all of those waves. And then we see all these new diseases and the amount of people who are getting these diseases
yes,
today, and wonder what's going on, what we eat, what we what these frequencies emit, and how they harm us or impact us. What are they creating problems with?
yes,
Those are some things we all need to be worried about. Let me go back to Mr. Lakshminarayan.
yes.
Mr. Lakshminarayan, now I think it's a very, very serious issue. Do you think enough attention is being given to it? Do you think there is even enough awareness about it?
No, I don't think so. There is enough awareness created, though there are a lot of NGOs working on it. One NGO from Hyderabad, Bombay, Bangalore, they are working on that one. They, it's like a wave. At times they are like coming into limelight. Again, it's being like somehow. The issue is not being highlighted sufficiently to get the focus of regulators. The one challenge that we faced post developing the product is uh, identifying certain standards for the product. For example, if at all we have to get ISA certification for our product, there has to be standards already developed for this kind of anti-radiation products. With no standards in place, with no parameters in place, how could we get a certification, standard certification? This is the one thing. And even if at all, uh, we need to prove the product. Given the high volatility of the nature of the radiation, it has to be proven in a closed environment. So we have associated with TUV Renland, one laboratory, a German-based laboratory, where our product has successfully reducing the impact of radiation. I'm saying specifically the impact of radiation, because without radiation, no wireless device can function. So it reduces the impact of radiation. The basic principle on which the product built was called Fleming left-hand theory. Fleming left-hand theory. Okay, so in the laboratory, it is proven that the force which is generated when electric field is perpendicular to the magnetic field, a force is generated. So when the magnetic field is converted into electric field and grounded sufficiently, there won't be any force at all. So it's a continuous phenomena, whereas electromagnetic radiation will be generated and it will be grounded. It will be generated and grounded. So the impact on human body will be drastically reduced with this product that we have with us.
So very interesting. Now, what we're looking at is an innovation done by this company AMR, and obviously the scientist who's involved in developing the product itself. And what it does, it basically you stick it on your phone, and what it does is it takes all the electromagnetic rays and all the radiation around you and captures it and grounds it. Most of the other radiation gets grounded through our own body. Now, Yuvraj Singh, the cricket player, certainly feels very strongly about it, and he's gone out and he's talking about the issues. He obviously suffered cancer, and he recognized what it does, and he's gone out and he's saying, "Let me go whole hog and make sure I can make an appeal to people that this is something that we must all think about seriously. It is something that we all we all need to kind of understand that this radiation that gets caused to us by cell phones and our laptops is not a good thing, and we must find a solution to it. Let's not make our bodies the way we're going to ground this and spoil our health." Coming back to you, Sasank, tell me, as you've gone on, do you think there is still more development required as you go forward? Do you think there is more research that has come out now that makes you think further on where and what the future holds in the world?
Yes, the thing is, currently our product is sufficient up to 5G technologies, and we have made sure all kinds of spectrum has. Tell you once, our house there are three power wires. One is a positive, one is third, one is neutral line. Any kind of switch, if, there will be, it is called grounding. You will get a shock from the switch, or electric appliances give you a shock. Just like that is the neutral wire which prevents hazards from in house. Just like that, this Rad Blok anti-EMR patch will be helpful in neutralizing radiation from communication based equipments.
Great. All right, great. Honestly, I wouldn't use a cell phone without, making sure that, I'm protected. I will, as soon as I found out that there is a device such as this one, I started using it right away. Because radiation certainly causes us problems. I think, I even get tired when I use the cell phone too much. It's not just about the conversation, it's about what happens with using the cell phone a lot. And so, as much as we can't avoid using a cell phone, as much as we can't avoid using machines, computers, whatever, we still have to protect ourselves. And certainly, thank you very much, Mr. S.N.Lakshminarayana, for thinking about a product like this and bringing it to market.
Thank you.
Good night and good luck.
Mr. Ravi.